You join me at Strensham Services on the side of the M5 with something I've never driven before, a Hyundai Tucson, or if you're watching this with subtitles, a Hyundai Tucson. And as you can see, it looks like every other SUV in the world. It ain't a bad looking thing, is it? At least they've made an effort, they've put some styling into it. It's not one of the Stellantis group. It is a polished turd, a plug-in hybrid, so technically it's a petrol engine with a useless battery attached to it, which of course comes with no charge and hasn't recharged at all on my way down. But apart from that, not a bad looking thing. Look at the lines, nice isn't it? Yeah, right. But it gets really interesting. I have no idea what happened there. I think I pressed the wrong button. But anyway, it gets really interesting when you get inside, because they've made an effort inside and it's a bit different. Now, it's all black. I like that because I don't like grey plastic. So it's all black with a bit of red trim, a little bit of half leather going on, and a rather nice cockpit, for want of a better word. Oh, right. So, here we go. Now, look at that. Oh, it's like something out of Top Gun, isn't it? Why is it dinging? I don't know why it dings. So there you have it. Quite nice inside. Buttons galore. Yes, there's a touch screen, but it's not the size of a plasma screen telly. There you can see it. Oh, I now have 1 mile of EV range. I've driven 100 miles, so no wonder I've got 1 mile of EV range. I won't be using it. But the most fascinating thing here, look at that, look, 2 USBs down there, and USB Bs, not Cs, because it's not European. But the most fascinating thing for me is this. No gear lever. Not even one of those flicky things. Just buttons. Start, forward, neutral, reverse. That's it. 3 buttons. Never seen the like before. There's a thing there for EV. That's useless. I don't know why that's there. They should have replaced that with an ashtray or something. So yeah, there you go. Drive, neutral, reverse, park. Just press a button and off you go. But here's the interesting thing. Right, I'm now in. I'll put it in drive. We're in drive. Right, we're ready to go. Right, watch. I can do this. Here we go. Put foot on throttle. Put foot down. Oh, it won't go. It won't go. It is not going. Look. And you know why? Because I haven't got my seatbelt on. You cannot drive this car without a seatbelt on. I quite like that in a way. I mean, it makes sense. But I've never ever been in a car where it just wouldn't go without the seatbelt on. You normally get away with it. So, interesting safety feature there as well. Aircon's quite good. Trim's quite nice. There you go. So let's take it for a spin down the motorway and see what happens. So here's the thing. It's a Hyundai Tucson. It drives down the road really well. It's alright. Don't do nothing wrong. No, it's never going to set the world on fire, is it? It's not designed to do that. But it is a plug-in hybrid. And here's the thing. Yesterday or the day before, possibly the day before, kind of lost track this week. Day before, definitely when England played it was. No, it wasn't. It was the day after. Wednesday. I delivered a Cupra. Not the Born. So I can't even remember what car it was. But it was a Cupra and it was a plug-in hybrid. Anyway, so I delivered it to this bloke, and he was a lovely bloke and gave me a lift. So we had a chat whilst he was dropping me at the bus station. We were talking about why he bought this plug-in, or leased, it's a company car, why he'd leased this plug-in hybrid. Because he said, I know the plug-in hybrid is useless. And he said, I know I'm only going to get about 20 miles out of it, and it's pretty pointless. It's about for the amount of savings you get on company car tax, you'd be an idiot not to have one. And here it is. This is the only reason plug-in hybrids exist. We all know that if you drive a proper milk float, you get your company car tax allowance, and you get it saves you an absolute fortune compared to a petrol or a diesel. That's fairly common knowledge. But the plug-in hybrid comes with virtually the same perks, but you get a petrol engine and you don't have to spend your life having range anxiety or charging or anything else, because you just stick them unleaded in it and off you go, and you still get all the savings. So it's just a loophole. A plug-in hybrid is no longer a polished turd, it is a polished loophole that saves everyone that owns a company car or drives a company car about £6,000 a year in tax. So what the hybrid is, the plug-in hybrid, because it's not the same with your self-generating hybrid, not the same tax laws. I need to look into it more, but you pay more for a self-generating one. It's only the plug-in ones that you get the proper tax breaks on. You remember years ago when everybody started driving Ford Rangers and Hiluxes because they were classed as commercial vehicles and you didn't have to pay company car tax on them? This is the new Ford Ranger. I'd rather have a Ford Ranger. Saying that, going down the motorway, this is definitely less bouncy. So that's all this is. The plug-in hybrid is now a tax dodge. It's the Jimmy Carr of the car world. It's the Lester Piggott of the SUV world. And any other tax dodgers you want to mention or jump in. Gary Barlow. It's the Gary Barlow of the South Korean car market. And that's why these things are still selling. Not in great numbers. Really not in great numbers. Because even when you add up all the milk float sales plus the plug-ins, you still don't get to the target that they need to reach. They're still about 5% short. So they're not flying out in great numbers, but people have worked out that if they have that, it saves them a fortune in tax. So they just as well have one of these. Then at least they haven't got the inconvenience of a milk float, and they've got the convenience of a good old-fashioned petrol engine. So there you are. The conclusion today is quite a simple one. Polished turds are tax dodgers. There's an analogy for your weekend. You're more than welcome. You can have that on me. Because apart from that, it picks up all right. It doesn't drive too bad. It's only got a little petrol engine, but it goes all right. And it's comfortable. And it's got buttons for gears. But it has got, and the one thing I did point out when I did the interior earlier on, was it's got a flappy paddle gearbox. You know, technically you're in a Ferrari at this point. But when you've only got one button for drive, I'm unsure as to what the flappy paddle gearbox does. So here we go with a live demonstration. Always changed down to fifth. Nothing happened. Right, so if I now go down to fourth, oh, a little bit of engine braking. Slow down a little bit. Oh God, no. Oh no, no. The response you get from the flappy paddle gearbox in the engine is the same response that Donald Trump got from Joe Biden last night in that debate. There's a pause, there's a hesitation, followed by a lot of confusion, and then nothing happens. To quote Donald Trump, I don't know what he said, and I don't think he knows what he said either. And that's the same with this gearbox. I don't know what it did, and I don't think it knows what it did either. But anyway, it's gone straight back into automatic mode. I'm back into D already. It's automatically worked it out, and I would say that's about as much use as an ashtray on a motorbike, that flappy paddle gearbox. I have no idea why it's there, what purpose it serves, because it doesn't actually serve a purpose. I can see no purpose in it. It's just there. It's bizarre. I'm going to have another go just to see. Right, change down. As you can tell from the movement of the car, I've changed down 3 gears. Nothing's happened. It's gone back in automatic mode again. I'll try again. Change down 3 gears. There we go. Down to 4th. It's revving the tits off itself. Up to 5th. Nothing. Up to 6th. Nothing. Up to 7th. There is no 7th. It's only got 6-speed gearbox. So it there you go. Nothing. Clearly the most pointless feature. Boom. That's the automatic kicking back in again. The most pointless feature ever put on a car ever. A flappy paddle gearbox in a hybrid with a push button gearbox. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. But you've saved £6 grand a year in tax. So just ignore the paddles, pretend they don't exist, because they don't work anyway. And concentrate on how much tax you're saving, because that's probably the biggest joy you're going to get out of this car. I mean, you get your kids in it and you get your dogs in the back, and you know, you'll get there in relative comfort and with a 7-year warranty. So, you know, all right, isn't it? And that's about it. It's just all right. Yeah, it's all right. It'll do a job. It does its job quite well, apart from the flappy paddle gearbox. And there you go. A comprehensive, and I think you'll find far-reaching review of the Hyundai Tucson, or the Hyundai Tucson, as it's called in Cornwall. And proof, once again, that the plug-in hybrid is as useless as I've always said it is, as pointless as I've always said it is, unless you're a company car driver and you want to save money on tax. Then it becomes useful. And that's it. Future, my arse.